Hey guys, this is where I'm heading. Heading up towards Natural Bridge. I'm going to jump on the Blueridge Parkway. Not sure how I am going to edit this, being I don't want to give you guys a hour-long video of me driving, even though the road is going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure how to do it. Hold on, let me cut away. Alright, getting closer to the mountains, and as I see things and I know things are coming up, I will talk, and I know I'll edit those. As soon as I start talking, that's where I'll cut into. Look at that house up there. It looks like a castle. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's hard to probably see on the GoPro, but that thing is gorgeous. Yeah, I'll just cut away and probably won't talk while I'm riding until I see something coming up, and when I start talking, I'll cut between those non-talking parts, so I don't bore you with a hour-long video of driving up a windy, beautiful, tree-covered road with no traffic. But all right, this road gets boring up through here. Let me cut this out. I'll talk to you a bit. All right, the road's getting a little better, getting a little windy and tree-covered, but this is nothing. Trust me, this is nothing compared to what's coming up. I've traveled this road right here on my bicycle. Some of it's up and down, a lot of hills. You're heading to the mountains. And I had about 30 pounds of gear on my bike. I had 2 roll top dry bags on the back, one on the top of those, going across. Then I had 2 on the front, one on each side. 3 water bottles, a fuel bottle. But that was my home for as long as I wanted to stay out on the bike. Everything I had on there, we're going to turn here to get on the parkway. Everything on there was all you needed to survive out on the road. It's the same thing as you need on a motorcycle. People think you got to have all these bags to load the stuff down. I was able to travel with 2 20-liters in the back and 2 20s up front, and that had everything from my tent, my camping gear, which was the tent, an air mattress, a sleeping bag liner, an inflatable pillow. That was all inside. Then I had my little cook set, stove, and 2 propane tanks. You could always rebuy them, as you go along, as you use them. A lot of times I didn't even cook, so I didn't even use them. I think I didn't even use half of one. And then you have a collapsible bowl and a cup and 1 spork, and that's all you have in utensils. The biggest things were clothes. You needed a dry set of clothes that you will not get wet. You have to put them in a dry bag and roll them up and then stick them inside of a dry bag, like with your tent and everything, or your sleeping bag, because that's another thing that cannot get wet. Here's the parkway. I'm sorry, I got into that and I totally took it off. This is the parkway. It runs north to south, runs all the ways down to like North Carolina, the whole length of Virginia. Might even go further, I forget, down into the Great Smoky Mountains, I believe. But it's like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Speed limit is 45 on the average. Hold on. All right, here's the visitor center, right by the James River, which is the lowest point on the Blueridge Parkway. It is right here. That runs down into Lynchburg. But this is a view you have. Beautiful mountains. But anyway, yeah, 45 on the average. It will drop to 35 and 25 depending on where you're at. There is no stores up here. There is no gas stations. No nothing. I mean, no commercial vehicles allowed. No advertisements on vehicles. No box trucks, tractor trailers, anything like that. Strictly cars and motorcycles and some pickup trucks. But even pickup trucks you don't see up here. It's mainly cars just cruising for scenery because it's not a point A to point B road. It is more scenic. As we get up in the mountain up here, I will show you why it's more of a scenic road. But yeah, if you're interested in what I packed, to go bike touring, and you could use it for motorcycle touring. Same theory, and I use the same gear and everything for backpacking, on the Appalachian Trail. So it's the same thing. I mean, unless you are the kind of person that needs a change of clothes, clean clothes every day, not talking about underwear, talking about clothes, and all that. I mean, you don't need that much clothes, and you don't need, crazy abundant of cooking apparatuses and utensils and all that. So I will get into that. If you're interested, comment below. I will talk about it more in depth, no problem at all. And if you go back, you can probably even find some of my videos, go back to the very early ones, probably around the 100 mark on the videos. You'll probably find some of them where I was out bicycle touring. But this is it. It's not even that shaded yet. They just got a couple trees here and there. As we get up there, I will come back on. I don't want to bore you, like I said. But this is the view. I'm just scooting along. I'm actually going a little fast. I'm doing 46, 45 is about the limit through here. But it's just absolutely gorgeous up here. Quiet. A lot of deer towards evening. You don't want to do this in the evening on a motorcycle. That would be dangerous. Hold on. Alright, here's the covered. Nice tree covered. Nice sun. And it's probably a bad time to video because the sun's coming right at me. Hopefully it's not killing the lens. I feel it on my face mask, you know, my visor inside my helmet. But hopefully it's not blinding the camera too bad. But this is the way it is. Nice covered. Beautiful green. I mean, you don't get any better on a Ryker than cruising up through here. You don't get any better than this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Weather is probably, here's a bicycle rider right there. And I came all through here with my bicycle. And from there, I'm sorry, down by the James River. Once you go about a mile or so off the James River up towards this way, look at that view. Golly. I need to just stop talking. I'm getting so sidetracked. Look at that view. Yeah, from there about a mile and a half off the James River up this way, it turns into a 6% grade, like what I'm coming up now, for 13 miles. No flat spots. It is strictly 13 miles of constant uphill. So they call it Storming Thunder Ridge. It's a bike ride that Lynchburg puts on. I did it, I think, 2 years ago. It's 100 miles, and I think you do right near 9,000 feet of climbing in that 100 miles. And this is one of the big climbs, you know, 13 miles at 6% grade, no flats. It is constant uphill. What the heck? I heard a little rattle. It wasn't that. I thought maybe the front glove box was open a little. But yeah, so that really tests your legs because you don't ever get a chance to rest. You're constantly pushing if you want to move forward. Dude, I came up this thing with 30 pounds extra on my bicycle. And these guys are doing it on like racing road bikes. And I climbed this thing with my gear to go bike touring, and it was cold, by the way. It was real cold. When I got up near the top here, there was actually a little bit of snow on the ground on the sides from the night before. And I think that night before I headed up this way was like 17. So it was chilly. And then the night that I slept up here was 13, I believe. Windy. And it was about 13 degrees, so it was cold. I did not get out of my tent or my sleeping bag. Once I changed out of my sweaty, wet clothes, I crawled into my sleeping bag and just stayed in there all night. I actually cooked inside there. I just reached my arms outside the tent with a little pot and food and cooked like that and had my hat on. But to me, that was enjoyable. It's a challenge. You got to push yourself. I mean, that's, to me, that's what life's about. You got to push yourself. Some people aren't into it doing it that way. Maybe some people are into it doing it mentally and job and learning and school. All right, let me cut here. All right, back up here. I know a view's coming up right up here. And we'll see what we got. Oh, yeah, that cut. There you go, right there. That cut in the mountain. That's where we're heading. You can see the road cut into the tree line over there. We got to go all around the inside of these here, and then we will head over that way and loop around. That's almost at the top. You have a little bit more climbing past that. But this is the road. I mean, most of it, hey buddy, most of it is over tree covered, not too much sun on it. This is a little more open, but it's beautiful. I don't even know what to say about it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm just sitting here, just enjoying this ride. I don't even know what to tell you. All right, I'm back. Look at that. That is a valley. No obstructions on the left here. Just beautiful mountains out that way. I don't want to turn my head too much because I'll end up down that hill. I've done that a couple times, looked over towards the side and end up crossing over the yellow lines. But look at that view, look at that valley. Man, see, went over the line. I told you, it's so easy to do. Look at all that stuff and end up getting a little crooked and going off your line. But gosh, it's just beautiful up here. But they do close this road in the winter. If it's up, here you go. There's a ranger. You gotta really watch your speed. They do radar and they travel this road religiously back and forth to keep it safe and keep people from speeding up here, you know, because they know people want to ride just to view and have fun, nice Sunday drive type deal. But yeah, they do. All right, I'm here. I started talking and I cut that off because I turned onto this road. The rest of it was boring. But they do close it when it's in climate because it's not a point A to point B road. It's just for scenery, so they have no problem closing it, keep everybody safe. Let me find a parking spot up here and I will go out to the Thunder Ridge Overlook. If you looked at one of my earlier videos where I said the Ryker made it, that's where I was at, just to give you a little teaser. All right, let me park this thing and I'll get back with you in a second. Hold on. So this is the Thunder Ridge Overlook. Trails all down through here. But it is absolutely beautiful up along the parkway. Let's take a look at this. You won't believe this. You absolutely will not believe this look or view. Here you go. Is that a view or what? Absolutely gorgeous. And way, I don't know if you can see it, the white right out there, that's called the Devil's Marble Yard. It's a natural rock slide. Those rocks are gigantic, like you have to boulder climb them. They are huge. But look at that view. Is that amazing? Absolutely. You could take the parkway, the Blueridge Parkway, all the way down to, you know, into North Carolina, down that way. But this view never gets old. When you hike the Appalachian Trail, which is actually, will cross right here, right up over this way, it crosses the parkway a couple times. These are the views you get. That's why people hike the trail so much. You know, it's hard hiking, but once you get up to these overlooks, it is absolutely gorgeous. And that tragedy that happened a couple weeks ago on here, I mean, just one of them weird things. People come up here to get away from society and craziness, and they have to come up here and follow. I mean, it's just a bunch of cowards. You know, this and schools and everywhere else where these cowards attack people, unarmed people. Absolute cowards. Anyway, look at this view. Beautiful. Okay, let me get motoring on. This does not ever get old. Alright guys, I am back on the bike. Hopefully the audio come out pretty good up there. It was windy as could be, and I just disconnected the GoPro off the helmet and unplugged everything. Just used the mic on the GoPro. So hopefully the wind was not too terribly horrible. And hopefully you were looking at the view more than you were listening to me, because that is gorgeous. So we're heading back down the mountain. There, you go down towards Peaks of Otter and then down into Bedford. But this road is just amazing. If you have roads like this, I mean, get out and enjoy them. Get away from the fast pace of living and hustle and bustle, and just get out and enjoy yourself. Go for a nice cruise. This one is real easy. It's close. And there's a bunch of roads off of here that you can go down, winding down through the mountains, down into the valleys that you're seeing. And when I put on those brackets on here, I could put the fishing poles on here and some fishing gear and go down and fish all the streams that are down in the valleys and down along those roads. A lot of native trout streams through there. There you go, look at that. That was a spider. That was awesome. There you go, Mr. Can-Am spider. There you go, big old buzzard. Oh gosh. But yeah, so I can take the fishing pole along with me, a little ultralight. have it sticking in one of those holders on the back here. And all right, I'm back. But this is, give me a comment below if you like these roads. These are gorgeous. They are just nice as could be. I'm cruising nice and easy. I'm not even doing 40 miles an hour. There's nobody behind me. I'm in no rush. I'm going to soak this in before I get back home and have to do yard work or something like that. Most likely yard work. I got a bunch of stuff to do around the house. Get the patio ready for barbecues and people over. Replace some of the bulbs. We have a string light hanging over the patio. I got to fix those. Look at that view. Golly. No guardrail, no nothing. So that's why I said you got to really pay attention. Absorb the view in, but don't go off the road. As you see, there's no guardrail. They have one here, I guess, just on the turns, in case somebody doesn't make a turn or something. But on the straights, they didn't have nothing back there. Well, they do have one through here, though. Make a liar out of me. Go ahead. Look at that view ahead of me. That is absolutely amazing. And I live here, and I've seen this before. It's still, I say it's amazing. I don't care how many times I see it. Like I said, it doesn't get old. I love that view. Other people more into the city want to cruise. There's that guy on the bike. He's making that climb. That's great. I've seen some teams out here, like college teams and all, and they'll train on this hill. They'll do times, but they climb it, I forget how many times, 3 times, the best of 3. And that's crazy to climb this hill 3 times. And at a high speed. They're not, but then you're also a college kid too. That was many decades ago for me. Okay, hold on. Back. I'm trying to cut it and whatnot. I'm doing a little bit of, I separate the audio in my editing so I can cut the video out and keep the audio so it may lay over while I'm talking and go into the next clip. It's no big deal. But I do detach the audio because I duplicate the audio track, and on one I lower the road noise, and on the other one I enhance my voice and remove the road noise completely, or try to get the best audio sound possible. Because what I've learned in video productions over those 17 years that I had my business, that audio is, I would say, 90%, 80%. Well, no, I got to take that back. Content is a lot of it, but your audio is vital. You have to have good audio. Let me cut here. Hold on. Okay, we're getting down towards the bottom, I guess, somewhere down here. But beautiful tree covers. Nice and cool in the shade, because it's near, I bet it's every bit of 90 degrees today. It is hot. Now that I'm moving, it's no problem. And I haven't had the fan come on the bike either. As long as you're moving, you're good. But as soon as you slow down around town and stop and start around lights and stuff, that fan it kicks on right away. It does not like the heat. But anyway, with the audio, audio's key. It's huge. Content is huge. Keep people's attention. But you need good audio. Don't try talking to the microphone or talking to the camera at 10 feet away and they can barely hear you. They're going to click off your video or not even watch it. Here's some bikes. But, alrighty. Let me cut away from here. I'll be back. Alrighty, now we are back on that road I told you about, 501, where it joins with the Parkway. It was pretty boring the rest of the way. It got pretty flat and the sun came out. James River, where I told you where that bridge was. We crossed over the bridge and hit 501. Hey, buddy. Is right there on my left. So we're traveling down the river towards Lynchburg. This is a nice ride. It does get windy up here as you hit Eagle Eyrie, I think it's called. It gets nice and twisty and turning. Oh, and that's the other thing I was going to tell you. Golly, I didn't even say that while I was doing that. Hold on a second. I'm going to see what we got up here. I may just cut away and then get back to it when we hit some good turns. And maybe I could show you. All right, I'm back. There's some twisties here. But anyway, on roads like this where it's really sharp turns you're going to be pushing, especially on the Parkway there, do not keep the bike in eco. Hear this. Do not put it in eco. You got to go in sport mode, because of the sharp turn. The turning of one tire a little faster than the other tire at such a sharp hairpin at a high speed, like at 30 miles an hour, 35, it wants to apply the brakes. I mean, it was shimmying like crazy until I figured what was going on. I thought it was grooves in the road, but it was actually trying to apply the brakes because it was sensing one tire spinning too fast over the others, and it was trying to correct for it because the turns were so sharp. And I was going into them pretty hard, 30, 35 miles an hour, to where maybe they were sliding a little. But these are the turns. Look at these things. These are pretty sharp. So yeah, you got to take it out of eco mode, put it in sport mode, or it's going to drive you nuts. That thing will keep constantly trying to brake. But this got some real nice turns here. It's not as beautiful, scenic, because you're coming back into town, but it's nice. I'll catch you when we're back in town. This is boring now. This is just a standard road. Alrighty guys, just like that, bang, we're back in town. I really do hope you enjoyed that view up there on the parkway. But yeah, the couple key things: do not keep it in eco mode, go to sport mode, or else it's going to keep braking on you when you're doing those hairpin turns at 35 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. And enjoy yourself, slow down, enjoy the beautiful scenery. That's what this thing's for. Cruise along. That was one of the most enjoyable, relaxing rides. And I don't even think I used just a couple bars, so I probably used $5 in gas to do that, just cruising along at 40 miles an hour. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I like taking you along, show you different parts. If you live around this way and you ever want to go for a ride, message me, shoot me a comment or whatever. We'll hook up and go for a ride, even just go somewhere. But that's it. Everybody enjoy yourself. Thank you again for watching. Hopefully I didn't bore you. And have fun. Talk to you later. Bye.